What happened was.
Hey friends, it's so nice to see you. It's today, the time is now. You are here and the weather is outside your window.
Today's guest is the founder of Philadelphia's chocolate ballerina company, Chanel Holland, here to tell us about this weekend's sold-out premiere of The Nutcracker, dipped in chocolate.
How are you, Zach?
Okay, how are you, Chanel?
I am doing well. I'm really excited. I'm super energized, anxious. I have a lot going on this week.
You got a lot going on. You're in rehearsal right this minute.
Yes, we are in rehearsal. What we are calling final days, the countdown days.
Yes.
We're 3 days away from the show day. So we're just running it.
How
We're in
exciting.
the ground at this point.
Yeah. Well, there's so much buzz about it. I've seen you on the news. I keep seeing social media on it, and I just love what you're doing. I have to, full disclosure, tell you that the Nutcracker is one of my very favorite things ever. And I love what you're doing with it. It's fantastic. And I was so happy to learn about your company, Chocolate Ballerina Company, based in Philadelphia. And I wish I could be at your show. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's truly a blessing. We are like sold out.
Yeah. And
Like there's no standing room sold out.
you're doing 2 performances in one day. Is that right?
Yeah, so we're doing what started out as an invited guest rehearsal.
Yeah.
So it was just family, friends, press, which I didn't know so many press interested.
There's a
But
lot.
they're coming. There's a lot of friends, a lot of our other programs. So we have outreach programs who we're inviting them out. We're inviting the rec centers out. That's at 1:30 and it's sold out. And then we have our premiere production, which is at 7, and that's sold out. And
Wow.
the crazy thing is they sold out 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
It went on sale 4 weeks ago. After a week, we were sold out.
Okay, so you're a triumphant hit already. And
it's a blessing. I'm actually shocked. Like I don't know what to say.
Well, I think it goes to show that when you do great work, people do show up. And when you have, something interesting to say, and you're doing such phenomenal work. I enjoyed watching some videos on your company, and I just so also full disclosure, I wanted to be a dancer when I was a kid. And
really?
I saw Nutcracker when I was very young, and I would spend some summer months as a kid in elementary school listening to it and dancing around the living room, and no one knew. It was like my private thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Dance is such an extraordinary expression. And I think I took a lot of dance in school because I went to school for theater, and I never was planning to be a dancer, but I loved the freedom it gave me in my body. And as an actor, it helped me learn how to tell story through movement and embodying character through movement, which I think is the most powerful tool that we have as people on stage, is to use physicality and movement to tell story, because it's something that everyone can relate to. It transcends language. And I mean, as you know, this is what you do for a living, but
no, I agree. I always say, when I was in college, I went to UArts for my freshman year. They always had this course that was like dance for actors, and I was like, what is course? And then I had peeked in one time because they had like an open class where you could just sit in, and it was so incredible to see the theater majors and that dance element, because they didn't really realize how much of dancers they really are.
Yeah.
Like movement in itself, external movement is dance.
Yes.
We don't call it ballet per se.
Yeah.
It's like they were shocked themselves, like, they were like, "Whoa, I made it through this combination. I can't believe it."
Totally. Yeah, it's such a triumphant feeling. And yeah, movement is dance. Like I kind of discovered myself as a dancer through like more like Martha Graham and like
Mm,
Agnes DeMille and more like extreme modern stuff that felt right in my body because I'm 6'6". So like ballet was not always great for me.
yeah. Ballet. The funny thing about ballet is like you can't. Well, the stigma was always like you can't be too short, but then you can't be too tall. You
Right.
know,
It's true. It's true. It's like the Rockettes. Like you have to be exactly one height, but dance is for everyone.
it's designed for everyone. That's what Chocolate Ballerina Company was created for. That genetically, physically, it was said that ballet was not designed for the African American body structure,
Wow.
that of women and of men, just because the curves we have in our spines, the enhancements in our eyes, and certain limbs that we it just was not designed for us.
Wow.
Me being an experienced ballet dancer for years, I very rarely saw people of my color
Yeah.
in ballet. And I always had this question of why. I just never had the courage to actually ask somebody, you know? It
Right.
was like I didn't want to lose my role, or I felt like it was never displayed in my neighborhood. Ballet was never displayed in my neighborhood. I
Mm.
couldn't go down the street to see it. I couldn't go to the local dance studio and only take ballet, only take point. It was one of the elements, but it wasn't the major. It wasn't the focus.
Yeah.
So that's why I started the company because in Philadelphia, I live in Philadelphia. Are you in Philadelphia, Zach?
I'm in New York.
You're in New York, my hometown.
All right.
In Philadelphia, there's like two schools. There's the rock school and the
Yes.
creative and performing arts. That's it. You
Yeah.
know, that really can give you that. And then you have, and you go to higher academia, which is
Sure.
college, where you have University of Arts and you have all these great things. But there's no Juilliard in Philadelphia. Like there's no Purchase in Philadelphia. Like
Right.
those intensive institutions that teach, or no ABT or no Met, or
Right.
like it's not that in Philadelphia, where those institutions that really instill the Giselles and the Romeo and Juliets and
Right.
the Swan Lakes and the annual Nutcrackers.
Yeah.
I think in Philadelphia, there for quite some time, there's only been about two major Nutcrackers premiere each year,
Wow.
and then Pennsylvania Ballet and Philadelphia Dance Academy, which is all predominantly white
Right.
dance,
Right.
and their tickets are not affordable
Wow.
enough where you can see. I think my partner, he took me our first date, well, not first date, but our first Christmas together.
All
He
right.
took me to see the Nutcracker,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Ballet. The tickets were $50. And he was like, wow, I paid $50 for these tickets. We're gonna have great seats. We were like all the way up in the amphitheater,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So it was like where you could see, but you could rarely see. We're giving our tickets for $40, everybody $40 tickets, and they can sit wherever they like.
Right.
And
That's
and it's like everybody get that stage to stage experience. Of course, it's one first come first serve,
right.
but you're getting that same opportunity as a seat holder of 100 tickets or a
Right.
family circle or
Right.
any of those things, because it has to be affordable. It has to be accessible for my people in
Yeah.
order for them to come.
Right. Well, it sounds like you're invited dress rehearsal also. You're allowing even more people in, which is so important.
Yeah, I just dress rehearsal. I felt really bad because it was like, how do you really determine who's a family, who's a friend?
Right.
It's like they were like family and friend. What does that mean? So once the press got their passes and stuff, I opened it up to the dancers family.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm primarily an opera singer now, and that's it's kind of a similar world to ballet in a lot of ways. And I talk about this a lot, that the ballet world, the opera world, and the orchestra world are three like nonprofit structured seemingly elitist, pretentious, seemingly, or communities in this country. And it's not like that everywhere, because in some countries, kids grow up going to the ballet, they grow up going to the opera, and it's free, or it's like $5, and these are art forms in our country that I think are struggling to find an audience now. And it's our responsibility to make it accessible.
And Zach, then, and I'm like cringing in my seat, because the next level for the Nutcracker is the orchestra. I mean, I feel like orchestra is so essential in ballet. I mean, when I think I did I was Swan Lake Corps one year. I was early 20s. The orchestra, having that live orchestra with you, gives you this rush.
Oh yeah.
Like, something that recorded music, even at its loudest, is just not giving you. And we went to see Anastasia in Philadelphia at the Merriam, and we had a talk back, Chocolate Ballerina, with their cast. And one of my dancers was like, well, how different is the orchestra versus the recorded? And one of the dancers were like, well, with the recorded music, if you miss the cue, you miss the cue.
True. Yeah.
You gotta keep going.
Yeah.
With the orchestra, they're seeing you. And the orchestra director might say, okay, now we gotta circle back because she missed her cue. It's just that marital thing between music and dance.
Sure. Give and take. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So are you with recorded music for this year's Nutcracker?
Unfortunately.
Well, hey,
unfortunately, but we are a nonprofit. It's our first year.
Yeah. First year.
Awards. Yeah, we're first year.
And this is going to be an annual tradition, right? This is like an every year. Heck yeah.
So we've already planned for next year to have it be a weekend.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to do a lot more.
At the least. At the least.
At the least, yeah. Maybe several weekends.
A week, I'm manifesting a weekend.
I think like 5 years from now, you're gonna be running from Thanksgiving till New Year's Day. So
as the same as Pennsylvania PA Ballet.
Yeah.
But with that comes time and experience and tradition. Just like I think I said for another interview where someone asked me like, how annual do you want this? And I'm like, in Philadelphia or even in New York, I will give New York as an example. In New York, we have this annual tree lighting ceremony where Rockettes dance.
Yeah.
And you have like the huge tree and like all of these celebrity performances. And then at a certain point, boom, the tree lights up. We're singing. We're having a great time. My mom, like I said, I'm a New York native, looks forward to that every year.
Yeah, sure.
If she doesn't see that, she's very sad. Like, that's how traditional I want it to be.
Yeah.
Look forward to.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. I love it. I so wish I could be there, but I'm glad it's an annual tradition because I will get there in the future.
And it'll be orchestra.
Heck yeah.
You'll be singing in the opening.
You're incorporating other styles of dance besides ballet into your Nutcracker, correct?
Yeah, so in Act 1, you're going to see the traditional Balanchine choreography with the party scene and the champagne toast and the Clara and the Uncle Drosselmeyer's entrance with his gifts.
Yeah.
And you're going to see all of that tradition.
Rat King
and the battle between the Nutcracker and the Rat King.
Yeah.
And and I choreographed this myself, and I'm actually shocked. I look back sometimes, I have to take I have to step out of your director zone and just be an audience. Snowflakes. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that music.
Free. Yeah. Gorgeous. Like the music, the intensity, the settings. It's gorgeous. And then you get the Act 2, where Clara usually goes to like, in her dream, she does this like Chinese, kind of like Russian, Italian, where you have the Spanish, different realms.
Mm-hmm.
So going there, where I decided to use those bases of tradition that really are the root of where we are as African Americans. So she's going to Egypt. So you see some Egyptians and she's going to Brazil. We have Brazilian dancers, and
Wow.
we have the West African dancers, and the West African stilt dancers, and we have the just so many cultural. We have the martial artists. Like it's so many
Wow.
cultural things that you'll see in Act Two. I
Wow.
mean, we've taken the candy canes and turned it into an entire gymnastics routine.
Wow.
African Americans, you were going to think you're at the Universal Circus, like like that's how acrobatic and that's
Yeah.
how family oriented it is.
I have chills thinking about that. That's so fabulous.
And and it's just, and I told people we didn't want to keep it. If I had my way, it would be 3 hours, but
Sure, sure.
condensed
Next
it.
year.
We condensed it all into an hour and 45 minutes.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then we have even down to the makeup, where we have the tribal makeup for the West Africans, and we have the headpieces for the Brazilians, and just the mask and the Egyptian veils and the shapes and it's incredible.
Yes. Oh, well, I can't wait to get there. Hopefully next year.
And you know what, Zach? I'm gonna send you the recording. We're actually recording.
Oh yeah, I'll watch that. Thank you.
I mean, it's not the same,
No, it's not the same, but I'll watch that and be delighted. Thank you so much. I always have to think about Tchaikovsky himself, the composer of Nutcracker, and how this piece came out. When it premiered, it was a miserable failure. And it's just amazing that we're performing it every December around the world, everywhere. Everyone knows the music. Even if they can't say, oh, that's the Nutcracker, they know it from, its commercial uses in movies and TV and commercials.
Everybody knows Sugar Plum.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody
Yeah.
knows March.
Yeah.
Everybody just knows it. They're using it for like Old Navy,
Everything. Yeah. Yeah, he would just be astonished, because he led a really difficult life, and he was a gay man living in secret in Russia, and couldn't be himself. It was,
he used his music.
He used his music, yeah.
Which was very much frowned upon for a while.
Yeah.
And
he gave us that gift.
And it's honestly, if you really just sit and listen to Act One, just let it play in its entirety. I mean, it's beautiful. The decoration, like the introduction of the decoration of the tree. It's like, how could you not? I know it now from the back of my head from me being in it many years, but now I live it.
Yeah.
I collect a lot of it. So it's like, I listen, I'm like, wow, he was really underrated,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I wish you the greatest success, huge merit, toy, break legs, and have the best time this weekend. Can I ask you a couple of questions to wrap up?
Yes.
All right, we'll keep it Christmas themed. What is your favorite Christmas dessert?
Pillsbury. I know as a dancer, do not follow me, dancers.
After Nutcracker.
After Nutcracker. Pillsbury have these cinnamon rolls, but the icing is like that of Christmas tree with sprinkled. My mom makes it every Christmas morning.
That sounds amazing.
Pillsbury cinnamon rolls, Christmas edition.
Okay, all right. And dessert for breakfast, I can always get behind. So yes, absolutely.
Put a little sausage on the side.
Outside of the Nutcracker, what is your favorite Christmas song?
Donny Hathaway, This Christmas.
It's a great one.
It's a classical. I have a bunch of them. I could say Donny Hathaway is at the top, and different people sing it, but it's dun 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 dun. I just
Absolutely.
That just makes me think of That makes me think of Petit Allegro right away.
Yes. You have to use that in class for a Petit Allegro. Yeah.
I love it.
That's amazing. Are you a Mariah fan?
I love Mariah, but I must say, I am Mariah out. My mom has made me listen to Mariah since I was could remember. I know her whole Christmas album from This Christmas to, All I Want for Christmas is to have another Mariah CD.
There's 3 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
I was watching something. She said she wrote All I Want for Christmas in like 2 hours.
and I think it's made her like $90 million, that song.
Her date.
Yeah,
Zach, her date.
I know. And like she just watched, it's like, dollars per minute that she's getting. Yeah.
And I can guarantee you from Thanksgiving to New Year's, Mariah doesn't have to do a thing. She doesn't have to sing, record,
Nothing.
appear anywhere. Because
Yeah.
I listen to Christmas music since Thanksgiving.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I put my tree up November 1st. So
yeah, like B101,
yeah.
They give it to you like Black Friday. Here we go. Take
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. For me, day after Halloween, Christmas. We're here.
Yeah, and you look in the stores and they're on the same page because I'm like, why is there Santa on November 1st?
Yeah.
They're standing outside ringing his bell.
Yep. All right. A couple tough questions. You can have a weekend away with anyone who's ever lived.
My partner.
Oh, that's really
My
sweet.
partner, Jean Pierre. I don't know. He's just my person.
I love that.
And we are business together. He's also the co-founder of the company as well.
Oh, amazing.
So
is that tough to be in a relationship with someone you're also in business with, or you just get it together?
We get the business part. Sometimes we lose. We're so business that we gotta write notes. Like, this is where we're gonna have relationship time. And
All right.
At dinner, I'm like, nope, we're not gonna talk about the business.
All right.
Talk about anything irrelevant.
So that's why you need a weekend away together. Got it. Well, I hope that happens soon. All right. 2 final questions. First one is this: you can go back in time to any moment in your life and tell your younger self in that moment one thing.
I will go back into the time where I auditioned for, I think it might have been, I can't remember, but it was a ballet performance. And I watched how the previous African-American female literally walked in and walked out. Like, it was a process of elimination. You walk in, they see you, stand in the line, they see you, tap on the shoulder, you say goodbye. I watched the group, she was in the group before me. I watched her go in literally in like less than 5 minutes. She was dismissed. I left. I never went in the room. I just left.
Wow.
Because I had this thing, like, what am I doing? And I think I was only about 17. And I was like, I just finished Ailey intensive. And I was like, what am I doing here? This isn't for me. And I gave up. I never gave myself a chance to even see if I could do it. And I would tell my younger self that you are placed here for a purpose. You're placed here and you were given this talent to impact others' lives. Now, whether you get to share that talent is not up to you. Whether you show up, just showing up is up to you. And I tell all my dancers, and I would tell my younger self, always, if you do nothing, always show up. Always show up. That's and I never, it's kind of probably good that I don't remember the institution because I probably would be like,
yeah. But you remember that moment and you always will.
I would never forget it.
Yeah.
Zach, I had traveled because I was living in Philadelphia. I wasn't living in Philadelphia. I was visiting Philadelphia. I had traveled back to New York with $15. I was in high school. I was going towards, I had got accepted to UArts already. I was going to New York, $15, Greyhound bus. I left my house like 6 a.m. I got on a 6:30 bus. I had got dressed. I had practiced for the week. I had my hair up in the tightest bun. I had very coarse hair, so like it was gelled for days. And I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I walked away.
Wow.
Show up, everybody.
Yeah, show up. but look at how many lives you're impacting now.
And I did the crazy thing is I did a segment on WHYY, which will be featured tomorrow. And then when she asked me about that moment, I had to take a pause because that feelings came back. I got filled up. I had to take a pause, like we had to take a break. Because I hadn't realized back then, it was just like, whatever. And then now that I look back and it's like, I teach the total opposite to my children, to my dancers. And it's like, I would never want anyone to come audition like they auditioned for the Nutcracker and just feel like they went through so much to just not even have the courage or confidence to walk in the room. It's crazy.
Wow. That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Of course. Final question for you. What is the meaning of life?
Life is the imprints that you leave to be remembered. I always look at it like life is like when you're walking on the sand and you can literally look behind you and see those footsteps. Some of the strides are wider, some of the strides are shorter, but those imprints are still there. And one day, someday, guaranteed, someone is going to step into those same imprints. And whether their feet be smaller or bigger, they're going to step into those imprints and use the foundation you have placed to elevate what you've already marked on this earth. I stand on the shoulders of so many. I mean, Misty Copeland is amazing, but she was not the only African-American ballerina to date. I mean, you go to Dance Theater Harlem in the 1970s, in the 60s. Dance Theater Harlem was filled with beautiful ballerinas. Aged too, and some of them are still there teaching. But yeah, life is just about leaving your mark for somebody, somewhere, somehow, to see it and be inspired by it and take it to the next level. That's all I'm doing. Is I'm taking what has already been founded for me and I'm taking it to the next level. And I hope, many behind me take it to the next level.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the great joys of being a teacher as well. And you're going to see your students go on and do such beautiful things.
Which I hate. I'm like, wait a minute, when I met you, you were 5, you were 15.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Sure. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you have the most magnificent, magical, spectacular success this weekend, and I hope that you get to look back for many months after this triumph and just be so proud and in awe of what you all did.
Zach, I thank you so much for lending your time to hear me. Everybody say, you always talk so much, but I really appreciate it. And when Brian gave me this opportunity, I stopped everything. I said, I don't care. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to close my door and I'm going to get into this because I really appreciate what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I love this platform. I love it all. I'm like a huge fan.
Oh, thank you very much. That means so much. Well, I hope to cross paths in real life. And
I'll send you that video.
All right. I can't wait. I'll be watching it.
I'll get you the 7:00 one too because it's.
All right.
It'll be wide frame.
I can't wait. All right. Be well. Bye.
My life in a dark for the sake of you and me. Only way to go is up. Them old bitches so whack, I'm so tough. What's up? 'Cause you.
That's all for today's episode. Puppies and rainbows till we meet again.